This episode of Orbit, Science for Kids on the Move, is produced thanks to the amazing team at PBS Nature. It's part of a bilingual podcast series for National Hispanic Heritage Month between PBS Nature and our team at Cumbre Kids. What is up, Orbiters? We have a fascinating episode for you today, but let's start out engaging that super creative imagination of yours. Look at your arms and legs. Now, imagine you have 8 arms and legs. Now, imagine they're red. Now imagine they're changing colors. Now imagine they're covered in suction cups. Now imagine they all have their own brains. Now wave them around like you're a giant Pacific octopus. We're going to learn a ton today with our friend René from the Monterey Bay Aquarium.
My name is René Carbajal, and I am a marine biologist.
Do you think René can answer some really tricky questions?
How smart is an octopus? How are baby octopi born? What do octopuses eat? And how do they hunt?
We won't know until we dive in. Grab your snorkels and swimsuit. Here we go. Welcome to a new episode. I am here joined by the one, the only, the special, the intelligent Milam Howard. Milam, say hello to our listeners. Hi. Mr. Milam, where are you joining us from today?
Houston, Texas.
In your dad's office, it looks like. Well, hey, Milam,
Yeah?
what's going on in life right now?
I'm excited that football season's starting.
We are recording on August 11th, so we are about to get ready for American football season. What? Are you a football fan?
Yeah, preseason in the NFL is already happening.
It's already happening. And who are your favorite teams that we're excited about?
Bengals, Vikings, and Buccaneers.
It's an interesting choice. The Bengals, the Buccaneers, and the Vikings. And what are you excited about? Why are you excited about football season?
Because it's my favorite sport.
Yeah? What do you like about it?
I don't know, I just do.
You just do. Sometimes we just like things. We don't exactly know why we like them. We just like them.
I just like whenever they just play each other.
Yeah? Have you ever been to a football game, Milam?
Yes.
What was that like?
It was very, 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 very loud.
Wow. That is incredibly loud, Milam. I cannot imagine how loud that would be. Well, hey, Milam, you wanna play a game?
Yes.
Well, this game is called Quick Draw Story. Have you ever played this game before?
No.
No. Okay. This is a new one. It'll be a new one for our listening families too, I bet. So basically, what we're going to do is one person will name an object. They'll say like purple dinosaur or flying toaster. And
I see both of these on here.
You've got a cheat sheet. And the other person will have to make up a short story about it on the spot. Does that make sense, Milam? Are you ready to go?
Yes.
Okay. Let's start with a flying pancake. Yeah. All right. Go.
Once upon a time, there was a flying pancake and it got eaten by a bird. The end.
The end. A bird. What kind of a bird ate it?
Hawk.
A hawk. Wow. And so normally the hawk would probably eat like a squirrel, but in this case it was like flying pancake. I'm going after that.
Yep.
Okay, I love it. All right. Do you have an object you want me to tell a story about?
A pineapple in sunglasses driving a convertible.
Whoa!
That's a wow. Okay. A pineapple in sunglasses driving a convertible. Okay, so once upon a time, we were in Miami, Florida, and it was a pretty day outside. And so Pina, the pineapple, decided that they wanted to go on a ride along the beach. Of course, because it was so sunny, they put on their sunglasses, and guess what? They saw a red-tailed hawk eating a flying pancake right next to the beach.
The end.
You ready for your next one?
Yeah.
Okay. This one is a rock that sings
opera.
Yep.
Once upon a time, there was a rock that sang opera, and then he was jealous about a paper that was singing opera better. The end.
The end. Were there scissors anywhere involved in your story?
No, he's the scissors sang low, so they weren't invited.
They weren't invited. So we were in rock, paper, scissors world. Okay, your turn, Milam.
A snail who wants to run track.
A snail that wants to run track. Okay, once upon a time, there was a snail that wanted to run track. But the snail went to school with a lot of rabbits and cheetahs, and it was very sad. However, the snail that wanted to run track found another snail that also wanted to run track and a slug that wanted to throw shot put. And so the three of them started their own snail slug track team. The end. What'd you think? Would you join? Would you race against a snail?
Yes, I would easily win.
You ready for the last one? The stinkiest sock in the world.
Once upon a time, there was a stinky sock. The stinkiest sock in the world snuck into someone's sock thing, and then he put them on, and at school, no one wanted to play with him. The end.
The end. I think wearing clean socks probably would make it easier to make friends. Well, Milam, we have done it. Congratulations. What do you think, Milam?
I am a robot now.
Okay. Milam has converted into a robot. Well, we have finished that game, and if families want to play it, you just come up with a silly object, and then on the spot, you have to come up with a story to practice your imagination. How about what episode we're talking about today, Mr. Milam? Giant
Pacific Octopus.
Giant Pacific Octopus. Okay, well, we are going to be joined today by René from the Monterey Bay Aquarium.
Hi, René. Welcome to the podcast. What do you do for work?
My name is René Carbajal, and I am a marine biologist, a scientist that works with the marine life at the Monterey Bay Aquarium. We're located in the central coast of California in a marine sanctuary. Our mission is super important to inspire the conservation of the ocean. My job is to take care of the ocean animals and plants that live in our aquarium.
What were you like as a kid?
I have been in love with the water since I was very tiny. My parents always say I learned to swim before I could even walk. So I'm a water creature, really. I've been fascinated by the ocean since a kid.
Milam, are you ready to learn with René?
Yes.
Let's do it. Hey, adults. Want to participate in future episodes of Orbit? Just visit www.cumbrekids.org/questions and fill out a short form. We'll add you to our WhatsApp community so you can submit your kids' questions for future episodes. We'll leave the link in the description of this episode. You can also submit questions for our podcasts in Spanish, Cráneo, Ciencia para Niños Curiosos, and Camaleón, Animales para Niños Curiosos. Okay, let's get back to René. Hey, René, I have a really super mega important question before we go any further. If I want to talk about more than one octopus, do I say, look over there at those octopuses, or look over there at those octopi, or octopods, or something else?
That's a great question. Let's clear up the octopus mystery. Octopuses is the most commonly accepted and correct English plural. I think a good way to remember, and maybe a fun one, would be that it's one octopus, two octopuses, and never octopi.
Okay. So I see one octopus in the water, I had a dream about 2 octopuses last night, and never have I ever seen octopi. Hey, René, if I were swimming in the ocean and I saw a giant Pacific octopus, what would it look like?
The giant Pacific octopus is an amazing animal. It looks like it's from another planet because its shape and all the special things it can do. It is the smartest invertebrate in the world. That means it has no bones. Its organs, like stomach and the heart, they're all inside its head. And one of the craziest parts too is it has 9 brains. It has 3 hearts, and its 8 arms are all covered in super strong, sensitive suction cups. They can smell and taste with their arms. It's almost like having a bunch of tiny little noses and tongues all over your arms.
Wait a second. This cannot be a real animal. You're saying this animal has no bones, 9 brains, 3 hearts, and suction cups all over its 8 arms so it can taste and smell with its arms? Surely that's like all of the cool things, right, René?
It has a tube called a siphon, which is like a hose that uses to shoot at ink to escape predators or to swim away through the water like a rocket.
All that and a special tube that can shoot ink at predators? That's kind of like if you were walking around with a straw in your mouth that you shoot paint out of whenever somebody makes you angry.
It has these big eyes that can sense color in the environment, even though they can only see black and white. And yes, it even has a beak like a parrot. It uses to bite and paralyze the prey with venom.
Okay, I'm starting to think this is actually an alien. Just to recap, no bones, 9 brains, 3 hearts, suction cups, a siphon to spit ink, really big eyes, but they can't see color for some reason, a beak like a parrot, and give it some venom. Okay, René, this is definitely all the cool stuff about it, right?
But one of the coolest things about octopuses, to me, is the camouflage. It can change color and texture and shape just in a fraction of a second. I call it the marine chameleon.
It even has a camouflage superpower that lets it blend in with its surroundings instantly. Wow. Okay, let's go to the next question.
Hi, my name is Loretta. I am 6. My question is, how big can the giant Pacific octopus be?
Great question, Loretta. To answer this, first, I need you to hold your arms out wide. Hold them out as wide as you can. The distance from the tips of your fingers on one side to the tips of your fingers on the other side is called your arm span. An adult human, like me, or maybe your parents or your teacher, has an average arm span of around 5.5 feet, or almost 2 meters. What about the arm span of the giant Pacific octopus? Shout out your guess. I'll give you a couple seconds. An average giant Pacific octopus has arms that reach 14 feet, or more than 4 meters. That's like 3 full-grown adults stacked on top of each other. René says that his aquarium had an octopus that weighed 130 pounds, or about as much as a human being.
And imagine, the biggest one recorded was 600 pounds and 30 foot long. It just imagine it's as long as a truck, probably.
An octopus the size of a truck? Whoa. Hey, let's take a moment for our mystery sound of the day. We'll play a sound and you guess what it is. I'll play the sound 3 times. This is a great moment to stretch your arms and legs. Maybe even jump up and down a few times. Here's the mystery sound. Think you have it? Okay, one last time. Okay, got your guess? We'll tell you the answer at the end of the episode. Hey, René, where do giant Pacific octopuses live?
Lives in the Northern Pacific Ocean, in places like Japan, Russia, Alaska, and the west coast of the United States. It can live at depths up to 1,500 meters, That's almost like 5,000 feet. So to put it in perspective, it's like stacking 5 Eiffel Towers on top of each other.
5 Eiffel Towers? If you don't know what the Eiffel Tower is, think of 5 skyscrapers in a big city on top of each other, but going from the ocean surface down to the sea floor. So the giant Pacific octopus can live in very deep water.
But it can also live in shallow water, close to the shore, and it can even come out of the water. It can be out of the water for a good 20, 30 minutes, and even longer as long as it keeps its gills wet while moving from one tadpole to the other. It likes to live in caves on dark places where it feels safe, but also comes around and explore and hunt near his territory.
My name is Milam and I'm 7 years old and I live in Houston, Texas. Here's my question. Do octopuses have arms or tentacles, and what is the difference?
That's a great question, Mylan. A lot of people think octopuses have tentacles. I used to think that too. But actually, the correct word is arms. An arm has suckers all along its leg, and a tentacle only has suckers at the tip of the arm, and it's a little bit wider at that part of the arm too.
Well, that's cool. I kind of wish I had suckers.
Hi friends, my name is Jose Romero Hernandez, and my question is, how did octopus get black ink?
Yeah, I want to know that too. Where does their black ink come from?
Octopuses have a special ink sac inside their bodies. They are located near the digestive system and it's close to their stomach. And when they feel scared or threatened, they squeeze the ink sac and they shoot out dark cloud of ink throughout a tube called the siphon. It's like throwing a smoke bomb and vanishing like a ninja.
My name is Wells. I'm from Houston. I'm 5 years old. I live in Houston, Texas. And my question is, what do octopuses eat? And how do they hunt?
Thanks, Wells, for the question. Well, giant Pacific octopuses are meat eaters. That means that they like to eat animals, and their favorite food includes crabs, shrimp, squid, fish, and sometimes even other octopuses. They're super sneaky hunters. They have a very sharp beak, like a parrot, to bite and squirt out venom to stop the food from moving. And then they use a special tongue with a tiny teeth called the radula to scrape out all the yummy parts.
Okay, a lot of us want to know about octopus babies.
Hi, my name is Loretta. How many babies can this giant octopus have?
Hi, my name is Kenji. I live in Pasadena, California. I'm 5 years old. And my question is, how are baby octopi born?
Hi, my name is Luna. I'm 5 years old. I live in New York. And my question is, how do the giant Pacific octopus reproduce? Bye!
That's a great question, Luna, Kenji, and Loretta. A female can lay over 80,000 tiny eggs, each one about the size of a grain of rice. And once she lays them, she becomes a full-time mama. She never leaves the eggs, not even to eat, protecting them from predators, cleaning them with her arms and suction cups. She pretty much sacrifices everything for her babies, even her own life. And when the tiny octopuses finally hatch, she passes away. But thanks to her love for and dedication for the babies, thousands of tiny octopuses swim off into the ocean.
The mama octopus loves her babies so much that she sacrifices her life protecting and caring for her eggs. You know, sometimes I learn about things in nature that are hard to understand and make me feel sad. It's okay if you feel sad too. When I learned about mama octopuses, I also felt admiration. Do you know what that word means? Admiration? It means I feel inspired by the example of mom octopuses, and how much they sacrifice for their babies. It makes me want to do a better job taking care of the environment so that baby octopuses have a safe place to live. It also makes me want to be a more loving person for the people around me too. This might be a good moment to pause the episode and talk with your mom or dad or a trusted adult, or maybe a friend, about how it makes you feel.
Hello, Chameleon. My name is Damika. I am 8 years old. I live in Venezuela. And my question is, how smart is an octopus? Thank you. My name is Diego. I am from Seattle in Mexico. My question is, why they are so smart?
Thank you, Damika and Diego. They're so smart. They can even recognize familiar human faces. They have a very special vision, similar to some fish and invertebrates, and they can remember who you are just by your face.
Hey, kids, do you remember how many brains a giant Pacific octopus has? Hold up that number of fingers. A giant Pacific octopus has 9 brains.
Hello, my name is Martin. I'm from Chile. I'm 7, and my question is, why does the giant octopus use so many brains?
Hello, I am Luis Mario. What are the 9 brains of an octopus for? Bye-bye.
They have one main brain in their head, just like we do, but they also have mini brains, one in each arm, which allows them to have each arm to think and react on its own, really. For example, if one arm touches something, it can analyze it instantly without even asking the main brain what to do.
Well, that is cool. It's like if my hand could think about what's for dinner while my foot thinks about a math lesson and my elbow thinks about my favorite baseball team. And my other elbow wonders if towels ever get dizzy when they're in the dryer.
Giant Pacific octopuses are super flexible and can move their whole body independently. For example, an octopus's eyes can move and rotate independently, almost like a chameleon, looking in 2 different directions at the same time.
Wow, Milam, that was super interesting. Are you ready to take a little break?
Yes.
Well, why don't we move around a little bit? I want you to help us out with that. I need 3 things from you. I need you to tell me a body part. I need you to tell me a shape, and I need you to tell me like an adjective or how we should do something, okay? So
Okay.
Can you tell us what is a body part today?
My fingers.
Your fingers, okay. And what is the shape that we want to make?
Diamond.
We want to make the shape of a diamond. And how should we make the shape of a diamond?
While hopping on 1 foot.
Okay, perfect. All right, so we're going to take a few seconds. We're going to make the shape of a diamond and we're going to hop on 1 foot. Or if you're seated in a car, you can just make the shape of a diamond and imagine that you're hopping on 1 foot. We learned today that the giant Pacific octopus is like a real-life alien. It has no bones, 9 brains, 3 hearts, and arms covered in suckers that can taste and smell. It can squirt out dark ink through a special tube called a siphon to confuse predators. It also has a beak like a parrot, but with venom to catch its favorite foods like crabs and fish. These octopuses can grow as big as a truck. They live super deep in the ocean and even change their color and texture to hide, kind of like an underwater chameleon. A mother octopus is a true hero. She lays tens of thousands of eggs and protects them until they hatch, even giving up her life to keep them safe. Hey, René, we have one more question that I think is super duper important.
Hello, my name is Sigrid Mostajo. I am 9 years old. I live in Santa Cruz, Bolivia. And my question is, how can I help an octopus to live more? Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Greta. I love these questions. Well, it turns out that all ocean animals, including our octopus's friends, are in danger. And why? Because they face big problems like pollution in the ocean, overfishing, and extreme changes in the climate. But the good news is that we can help. Even small changes can make big action. For example, use less plastic, join a beach cleanup with your family or school, take care of how much water you use at home.
Now, those are great ideas.
And if you enjoy eating seafood, choose seafood that is caught in a way that is safe for the ocean. That means picking fish and shellfish that were caught responsibly without hurting other sea animals or damaging the ocean habitat. We have special cards called seafood watch cards that show you which seafood is ocean friendly and which ones are to avoid.
We'll put the link in our show notes. And what advice, René, do you have for families who are fascinated by the ocean and creatures like the giant Pacific octopus?
Just exploring together. There are fun ideas for kids and families to keep them learning about octopuses. You can watch a documentary. There are amazing videos about octopuses, including the ones on our website, like the amazing training of Tino the Giant Pacific Octopus. Another thing I should suggest is that visit an aquarium. Seeing a real octopus is unforgettable. If you're ever in California, come and visit us at the Monterey Bay Aquarium.
Hey, adults. I visited the Monterey Bay Aquarium and I got to meet René and see several of their giant Pacific octopuses. It is a magical place to learn all about sea life, like kelp forests and sea otters and jellyfish and giant tuna. It is worth a visit if you're ever in California. Okay, families, ready for the mystery sound? One more time. Here's a hint. Is it a lion, a jaguar, or a bear? All right, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. It is a jaguar. Hey, Milam, what'd you think of René and the giant Pacific octopus?
Super cool. I love octopuses.
I love octopuses too, and I learned a ton. All right, Milam, now we are going to do a true-false quiz to see if you and I both learned a lot during the episode. First one, true or false? Octopuses have 8 tentacles.
False. Because they have 8 arms.
Woo! That is totally correct. 8 arms, not 8 tentacles. And the difference is that arms have suction cups all over them, while tentacles just have one big suction cup at the end. Next, true or false question. True or false? The giant Pacific octopus only gives birth to a few babies.
False. The mother octopus lays a lot of eggs at once.
That's right. Thousands and thousands of tiny eggs, about the size of a grain of rice. That's quite small. So you are 2 for 2. The giant Pacific octopus can use its ink to distract or escape from predators.
True.
Woo! And why? Do you remember why that's true? I think they shoot out the ink.
They shoot out the ink so they can't see. And sometimes they even make it so it looks like another octopus so they attack the ink.
Wow, that is fascinating. That's a fun fact brought to you by Milam Howard. All right, well, we have reached the end of our episode, Mr. Milam. Do you have any...
No.
No special... Do you want to say goodbye to our listeners?
Goodbye. Don't forget to brush your teeth.
That's right. Don't forget to brush your teeth. All right, bye, everybody. Orbit, Science for Kids on the Move, is a podcast produced by Cumbre Kids. It's a brand new podcast, so check it out on your favorite podcasting platform. This episode was written by me, Robert Carpenter. The producer is Catherine Aguilar. Artwork for the episode by Moises Monsalve and Jorge Wake. If you're a Spanish speaker or maybe a Spanish learner, don't forget to check out our other podcasts, Cráneo, Ciencia para Niños Curiosos, and Camaleón, animales para niños curiosos. And don't forget, buenas noches, cráneo. See you in the next episode of Orbit.